Hi there everyone, it's Misty here from TheJollyFatElf. Welcome to my second video for today. It is Monday, February the 15th, and today I am creating a second card for you today. And I mentioned in my first video that both cards today would be featuring embossing, so we're going to be doing some heat embossing on this card. This card is part of a blog hop that is going on with the Anthony's Papercraft design team. I'll tell you more about that in just a second. Let me walk you through what I'm doing so far to set up this card. So I am using the new Butterflies 3 stamp set that will be available from Anthony on, I believe, March 1st. I do believe that there's a coordinating die set that will be available with this stamp as well. This stamp, is so pretty. It's so pretty. So I'm going to be doing some heat embossing, as I mentioned. So I'm going to be doing a rainbow gradient. So I'm going to start at the top right with red and work my way to the bottom left. And we're going to end with a purple. I'm going to be using some ink cubes from Gina K Designs, but you can use any ink that you want to. Pigment ink would work amazingly well for this technique. So if you have colored pigment ink, I suggest you use that. But my inks are dye-based. So I'm going to go ahead and get them lined up where I want them to be. I'm going to bring in an embossing buddy to remove the static, and then I'm going to pick my colors. And while I'm doing that and you're watching that on screen, I'm going to give you a little information about what's happening. So as I mentioned, we are doing a blog hop. This is our first for 2021, and this is in support of Lori, I believe it's Kobler. It's a Girl Thing Turner Syndrome blog hop. So Anthony's Papercraft is one of 23 sponsors for her blog hop, and we thought it would be fun to show our support by doing one ourselves. The butterfly has become the symbol for Turner girls because just like a butterfly, they are considered fragile and beautiful miracles. Because it represents femininity, strength, and uniqueness, the butterfly was designated by TSSUS to become the Turner Syndrome symbol. Butterflies fly on their own, which is our hope for our girls. Turner syndrome is a disease in which a female child, is born without one of the X chromosomes, and it causes a variety of different health issues. You can read more about that. I will have links down below, not only to more information about the Turner syndrome, but also links to my fellow Anthony's Papercraft design team members and all of their social media so you can hop along with them. So I went ahead and used Versamark ink, and I added Versamark ink to every single stamp. Now I'm using these cubes to add ink to each individual butterfly. And it's okay if they overlap. You may need to clean off your your ink pad if that happens. I didn't seem to have any issue with that. I did red and orange on the first butterfly. The second butterfly, I kept all yellow. And then I moved on to a green and a true blue on the third butterfly, and a little bit of that green ended up on the yellow butterfly. And again, I didn't care about that. And then at the very end, I did a deep blue and purple. And I apologize that that's a little bit off frame. But it doesn't matter if they touch, you kind of want them to touch. And that's why I said you could 100% do this with markers. Like that's a technique that will work. If you have pigment ink, that will work. You can skip the Versamark. The reason why we did the Versamark first is so we wouldn't get color all over our Versamark, all over the Versamark ink pad. And then we can just add our colors on top, and it doesn't mess with the ink pad or anything like that. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp this down, and you can see how beautiful these butterflies turned out. They are just so pretty. So this stamp set will be released on March 1st, like I mentioned, and 2 of these sets are being offered as a prize on It's a Girl Thing blog hop. And again, you can find all of that information down in the description box below. So while this is still wet, I'm going to go ahead and bring in some clear embossing. You're going to want a clear embossing powder so you can see the color through it. This may have also worked with heat and stick powder and some glitter. I may try to make another one of these cards just because I love the technique and I love how it turned out. I just think this turned out so pretty. I think this would be beautiful in pastels. I think this would be beautiful if you went like red, pink, orange, yellow, like added in that extra color. And then you can see my phone where I'm watching YouTube videos. That's what I do when I am creating for you guys. So it's just beautiful and bright and shiny, and I love it. And then I'm going to flip that over, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in one of the sentiments from this stamp set. At first, I wasn't going to do a sentiment. You guys know how I am about leaving things open, but I felt like I left the perfect spot on that bottom right-hand corner for this sentiment, and I love this sentiment. I think the sentiment turned out awesome. And I'm going to be using VersaFine Onyx Black ink. So VersaFine inks are a pigment ink, which means it doesn't soak into the paper, and it gives you plenty of time to add embossing powder. That way you can basically set it, and it will make it shiny. So I know I've talked about the difference in inks before, and I will try to do I plan on doing my newbie series. It's coming, I promise. I got to get over this RA flare and be back in business, and then we will be good, I promise. So I'm going to go ahead and heat that sentiment as well, and you just want to look for it to be shiny and not powdery. You may want to go ahead and run your heat tool along the back if you think you need it, but I sure didn't. I sure didn't need it. And love is like a butterfly. It settles upon you when you least expect it. And isn't that the God's honest truth? So yeah, I am obsessed with this card. This card, along with the one I created earlier, will be in my Etsy shop probably in the next week or so. Give me a little bit of time to get them listed. And you can find all the other cards that I've created there as well. I know Valentine's Day is over, but there's only a few that I like really tailored to Valentine's Day. Some of them can still just be about love and loving yourself or loving a friend or all the things. The only one that you won't find for sale is the kitty cat one, and that is because it is going in my craft room. I'm saving that one. So I couldn't decide on what I wanted to do for the background. I knew that I wanted it to be black, but I thought maybe I wanted to do a silver glitter. And then I found this glitter paper. So this is black glitter paper. I believe this is from Die Cuts with a View. I can't remember. Initially, I thought I might go ahead and just cut this out with rectangular stitched rectangle die. But what I decided to do was go ahead and adhere this whole entire thing down and then cut around it. Normally, I wouldn't do this because it wastes the rest of the black. But I use black so infrequently that I was like, it'll be fine. Like, I don't know that I'll miss it. So, but normally if I was using like a red or a really fun color, I would have cut out the middle just to create a border. That way I wouldn't have wasted all of that space, because basically it's just adhered. You're not seeing it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to bring in a black card base. This is a piece of basic black, and I'm going to cut it to 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. And then no, I'm not 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 5 1/2. My brain, it's so crazy. I've been so tired. I think I talked about this in my last video, but I've been so tired. I went to bed like at 8 o'clock last night, and I woke up at like 9:30 this morning. And I told Rob earlier, I was like, why does it feel like it's 11 p.m.? It feels so late. I'm just so tired. Hopefully tomorrow's my second dose of my new medication. Hopefully that will help. Fingers crossed, because I would like to get back to creating. The weather isn't helping. I mean, we're having this little mini baby blizzard. It's cold. It's going to be like 0, which is wild for Texas. It doesn't happen much. So this is my Craftmate sequin storage. I got this off of Amazon. And I think you guys, most of you may know, but I started my crafting career. The TheJollyFatElf was initially all about Christmas ornaments, and I basically pinned them with sequins and beads. And yeah, and I got rid of all of my sequins and I kept just a little bit of every single color. So I'm using a pickup stick. This one is from Silhouette, I believe. And I put down some liquid glue on that scrap piece of paper, and I'm just using this pickup stick to pick up my colors of sequin. So I have one color that matches every single a sequin color that matches every single color that I've used on the card. I initially was going to do dots with my Nuvo drops, but I don't have a red. And I don't even know if they make a red. And now I just remembered I have a stickles that's red. Oh, well, anyway, I have these sequins that need to get used too. So I'm just dipping them in a little bit of liquid glue and then gluing them down with, again, using this pickup stick. I think this is called a quick stick, pickup stick, pick-me-up stick. I don't know. You guys don't ask me. RA fog, brain fog, forgetfulness. I have all of it. All of it. So then I'm going to go ahead and decide to add a blue and a purple over by the sentiment. And that's mostly because those are probably two of my favorite colors, blue and purple. Aqua blue. That's not aqua, but it's close enough. So I'm so happy that we get to support such a great cause. I love the whole butterfly symbol. I have my Myasthenia gravis and ours is snowflake. We're snowflakes because no two people have the exact same symptoms. But I love the meaning behind the butterfly for the Turner syndrome. And if you know someone who is suffering, my heart goes out to you. It's never easy when you look different or when you are different or when you experience things different. So many blessings and all of my love. And thank you so much for participating. If you're someone, who's watching, if just go follow the links, you don't have to donate or anything else. Just go check everybody out. That supports all of us just as much as, if you were able to donate some dollars. So in order to cover the hole in the sequins, which I normally wouldn't worry about, but I really wanted to add in some pearls. So these are just some pearls that I had in my stash. So once I've done that, this card is done. And I'm going to show you just how shiny it is when it reflects in the light. So, and again, this could be used for basically any kind of card because love, it can be, romantic love, it can be familial love, it could be, friendship love, it can be all different sorts of things. So I love you. I thank you so much for all of your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now, guys.